it's only over when you give up. Now, we got a bit of a different video today, but I mean, I really think that this relates to lifting purposes. And a lot of people, have been sending me messages like, man, I've been stuck at this weight for this long. I'm really discouraged. Like, I can't get past this weight. I've been stuck here for a year. Man, I've been working at 405 for 6 years now. I can't get there. And so many people that just message me these things, and I ask a few questions. I'm always willing to help people out for free, even though I'm offering paid coaching and stuff like that. And they'll be telling me some stuff. I'll be like, wow, they're not really doing much wrong, to be honest. Maybe there's like one tip that I could give them, like maybe focus on some sleep, or you could go out a finger width grip on bench. But honestly, there's a lot of people that reach out to me with messages like that are actually doing the right things, and they're just not getting there. And so that leads me to making this video today. Is it's only over when you give up. And so many people, they run into times like this, right? I mean, I've had my fair share of plateaus now. I have this ongoing leg injury that I haven't hit a deadlift PR now. We're coming up on a year for a stiff bar deadlift PR. It took me a year to hit a squat PR. I think that was also kind of related to my leg injury. The bench has luckily continued to progress for me, but it's been like a rough year, you know what I'm saying? And there was many times throughout the year where I just kind of wanted to quit, not keep going. But I kind of realized something now over time that I want to share with you guys, that if you're working towards a goal in anything in life, not just lifting, is that it's really only over when you give up. And if you're going to be working on something that you think is your future, right? You're like, man, I mean, I live for the gym. I know I'm gonna spend the rest of my life in the gym. I'm gonna be that 6-year-old guy who talks about how much he used to lift, but still lifts a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be that guy who just sticks with it and makes fitness part of his career, his passion, whatever. You have to understand that points are going to slow down. It's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. And there's going to be times, not just months, not just a couple months. There's going to be probably be some like years in there, like solid full 365 days where you can't get one good workout. You can't hit one PR. But that doesn't mean that you aren't actually benefiting in those days. So like when I was stuck in the squat plateau, I used to think like I'm showing up all these days. Every day I show up to the gym and I squat, or not every day, but every time I was showing up and squatting, I was like, I'm showing up to the gym, not hitting any PR. Am I even doing anything? Like what is the point of me even coming? Like I can't hit a PR. Nothing's going good. What is the point of me going to the gym anymore? Right? Like is it just over? But what I learned from when I actually did hit that squat PR is that whole year, even though I may not have added 1 pound to the squat, that whole year, it took me a whole year to put 1 pound on the squat, I grew much more than 1 pound in other aspects of life. Because somebody I'm going to talk about real quick is Elon Musk, right? I know, very controversial guy. I don't know much about him, to be honest, but I heard a quote that he said, and they said, how does it feel being the richest man in the world? And he goes, well, I'd like to believe that Putin has much more money than me. And the first thing that you could take away from that is, wow, this dude, like, even though it's clear that he's probably the richest man in the world, he understands that just because it's not in writing, he thinks that other people may still have more than him. So if we put that into powerlifting terms, right? If I'm gonna look at myself like, yeah, Blake, you were the only person, or let's say you were like the first person to bench 500 at 17, I already know in my head, no, I wasn't. And I'm not going to go on and say that I was, because if you guys go back to my old videos, I'm pretty proud of this. I would say the person who motivated me to hit 500 at 17, this kid, I'm pretty sure his name was Ryder. Uh, I think his last name started with an H. He hit 500 at 17 when I was like still 16. I was like, bro, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Like I set it in my mind I was going to do it. And I went out and did it. You know what I'm saying? So the first part of it is you have to understand that most likely there's somebody above you. You know what I'm saying? And now the second part of it with the Elon Musk thing that I heard was, he said, have you ever gone bankrupt? Or he's like, are you scared of going bankrupt, or losing it all? And he said, absolutely not. He explained how SpaceX had failed like 5 different times in 2008, 2009. They were on the cusp of bankruptcy because they were literally on like their last funding. They had failed 4 times previously, and they were on their last time of funding. And he said he went into it with no fear, and somehow it worked. And when I look back at that and I compare that to my training, and I'm like, okay, so I need to always accept that somebody is above me. There's always going to be somebody better, if you want to admit it or not. Dan Bell, biggest total in powerlifting, 2606. I bet he can look back and say, there's somebody out there that could beat it right now. And I'll tell you, there is somebody who could beat it right now. Colton the Limit Breaker. I don't know when he's going to do that, but that's going to be crazy. But no, seriously, you have to look, be like, all right, there's somebody that's done more than me. There's somebody that's done better than me. So me getting to this next goal is definitely not impossible. Simple. It's definitely not impossible because somebody else out there has done it. And then the other part to it is you just have to keep showing up and expect that you're going to get what you want. Even when Elon Musk said he failed 4 or 5 times before the 2009 SpaceX launch, he said he had no fear in his mind. He didn't even think twice about it because he knew that that time it was going to work. And so when I watch this video and I sit back and I just really think like, man, every time I go in the gym and I go for a PR, am I going up to this PR, like especially after a plateau, am I going up to this PR like, I just don't got it, right? I've tried this a million times before. What makes me think that this 1,000,001th attempt is going to be it? And that could simply be what holds you back from hitting that PR. And that's exactly what held me back. So pretty much I figured out this one thing with my form and I magically thought like, oh yeah, dude, this is going to make me squat way more. I knew this, that, blah, blah, blah. It gave me confidence. I smoked the squat. I literally smoked it. And I was like, that's insane. All I needed was just some confidence and I was going to smoke the squat. So what I needed to have in my mind the whole time was like, man, is it over? Am I not going to hit PR again? Man, just all these bad thoughts. I needed to wipe the bad thoughts out and I needed just to find some confidence. I needed to look for the small wins every day. And that's why I say that I gained much more than that 1 pound of squat PR. Because not only did I gain that 1 pound of squat PR throughout that time, but I also gained the knowledge to understand that it's not always just like, man, how many more times am I going to have to try it? It's like, man, this next time I'm going to get it. That's it. There is no, oh, what about the next time after if I miss? If I miss, then what? No, there is no if you miss. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only over when you give up. And so if you just keep showing up and every time you try a PR, every time you do this, every time you do that, you go into with the mentality that there is no way I don't do this. And if somehow you do miss it, all right, the next time, you know what I'm saying? The next time I try this PR, there's no way I'm missing it. And you have to go into every single lift with that mentality to progress. Because failure is not the end of the world. You can't be scared of failure. I'm telling you, when I watch Elon Musk, they're like, are you scared of bankruptcy? He's like, not at all. Been there multiple times, not scared at all. And I'm like, wow, man, every week I go into the gym like worried, what if I miss this lift? Where am I going to go from there? But his mind isn't even on that. His mind isn't on the what if. He's putting all that he has, all his energy onto the do, not the what if then do. He's putting it all onto the do. So my point of kind of this video is put everything on the do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do this. Not what am I going to do if I can't do this? No, put everything that you have onto I'm going to do this. Because it's only over if you give up. Seriously, it's only over when you give up. And if you don't give up, it's never over. It's never over. Even if you never win, it's still never over. How are you going to lose a fight if you never quit the fight? Think about it. If you go into a boxing match and they're like, all right, there is no time limit. Time limit doesn't exist. It's just whoever wins. And you go in there and you just battle, and it's 2 boxers and they box each other for 50 years. Even though the one might be getting beat down, about to get knocked out, but he doesn't give up and he keeps getting up, it's still not over. There may be someone winning during the time, but it's still not over. And that's the thing that they'll say with like football. If anybody ever played football, even when you got a good lead, 4th quarter, it's not over yet. It's never over. And like in the game of life, pretty much, man, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like finding that it's not over until you give up mentality is just so beneficial, and that is just my point to make in today's video, is that you're in a boxing match that is going to last the rest of your life. And if you never give up in your lifetime, the boxing match never ends either. Just because you die or because our life ends doesn't mean that you gave up on that fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of my point in this video. As far as like lifting goes and stuff like that, stop worrying about the what if I miss this, oh, this and that. Put everything on the do. And if somehow you miss that do, get back up and try again. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully I'm going to be posting more soon. And Blake Wentz signing out. Peace.